Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The Bourbon Van, Whiskey in a Van Wednesday, Larceny Barrel Proof, B520. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big day. I've been on the lookout for this bottle ever since I heard that it was coming out. It is the first one that I've seen in Oregon. It costs $50, has an age statement of 6 to 8 years. The mash bill on this, 68% corn, 20% wheat, 12% malted barley, and the proof is 122.2. You're probably already familiar with Heaven Hill's Larceny product. Came out in 1992. It's 92 proof. Was sort of the stepchild of the Old Fitzgerald wheated bourbon franchise. This is the big daddy of that family. This is the barrel proofer, and it takes after Heaven Hill's other barrel proof family, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. They release 3 versions of this a year, A, B, and C. The first letter indicates the month that it came out, and the last 2 digits indicate the year it came out. So this is B520, so second batch of the year, came out in May of 2020. Quick history on the logo for this bottle. Most people already know, but it makes a good story. The name Larceny and the key pictured on the bottle are derived from the story of John Fitzgerald. John Fitzgerald was believed to be a treasury agent. According to Heaven Hill, he used the keys to the warehouse to pilfer bourbon from the finest barrels, which were referred to as Fitzgerald barrels. So this bottle is part of a longer history that Heaven Hill has with wheated bourbons, from Old Fitzgerald to Larceny to now Larceny Barrel Proof. You might have noticed my snowflake sweater today. It is snowing here in the high desert of Central Oregon. It is freezing. I do not care for that. I'm excited that our indoor studio is just about finished. Julie and I will be doing most of our videos from there this year, but for Whiskey in the Van Wednesday, it only seemed appropriate to be out here with Sadie Hustlepig hanging out in the van. Now, I am excited to get into this. Let's check out the nose and see what we find in this bottle. Right off the bat, tons of caramel. It's very inviting, very warm, very sweet. Everything that you want in a wheated bourbon. Brown sugar, molasses, caramel. There is some nice oak in here as well. I'm guessing that's due to the 6 to 8 years that this spends in the barrel. There may be some nuttiness in here too, maybe a little bit of ethanol, just a little bit of heat. For a barrel proof bourbon at 122.2, the nose on this is not hot, it's not astringent, it is very sweet, very caramely. I'm really enjoying the nose on this, but I am excited to get in here and taste it, so let's have a sip. Cheers. That is really nice. Just a ton of caramel, brown sugar, sweetness, all of the things that I got in the nose right off the bat, just a ton of sweetness, and that is not really a surprise for a wheated bourbon. First impression of this is it's very good, very sweet, very easy to drink for such a high proof point. I'm excited to keep drinking this and see what else we find in here. So let's go in for a second sip. So you don't lose anything in the second sip. You get a little bit more flavor, maybe some cinnamon, just a little bit of spice. The oak is starting to show up. That 6 to 8 years in the barrel is starting to show up, and the proof, as expected, is starting to show up. I'm getting a little bit of a Kentucky hug here. I don't mind the heat at all because it's snowing here, and honestly, it's kind of nice. Let's take one more sip and get into the finish. There's just so much sweetness here. The caramel has led from start to finish, and now on the finish, there's still a ton of caramel. I'm not getting a lot of bitterness, a little bit of heat, that's hanging around, that's not surprising. There's maybe a touch of bitterness, but it's more like a dark chocolate or maybe even an unsweetened chocolate. It replaces the caramel as the finish lingers. The finish isn't particularly long. The heat itself seems to be building and hanging around. I suspect the more that I drink this, the more that I'll notice the heat in the finish. The last flavor that's showing up in the finish is a little bit of vanilla, which is funny. I didn't get much vanilla on the nose or on the palate, but it is showing up in the finish. It rounds out the flavor really nicely. I'm impressed with this. My overall impression of this is that it is very sweet. It is very flavorful. It doesn't drink all that hot considering it's 122 proof. This is a unique bourbon. I really enjoy Larceny 92 proof, but I think I like this a whole lot better. The flavor is just off the charts comparatively. It has a bit of a short finish, but flavor-wise, there's not a lot on the market that tastes anything like this. So let's talk about the value of this bottle. It is priced similarly to what else you can find on the market. Maker's Mark cask strength immediately comes into mind at $55 for a bottle. Again, this is just $50 a bottle. They're priced comparably, but their profiles are different enough that if you tried them side by side, I think you'd find something to like about Larceny Barrel Proof and Maker's Mark cask strength. I have not seen Maker's Mark cask strength in Oregon yet. I'm keeping my eyes open for that because I think that that's going to be a worthy competitor in this space. The only other bottle that's really in this space that I know of is probably William Larue Weller, which is $99 a bottle-ish and almost impossible to find. I think this is going to become a lot easier to find in the coming days, along with Maker's Mark cask strength, along with Maker's 46 cask strength. There are not a ton of bourbons in this space. It is interesting to see how many players are getting into this field. So considering its competition, I think it's priced well, and I think it's a competitor. Would I buy this bottle again? Absolutely. B520 is my favorite of the Elijah Craig barrel proof family, so I'm interested in trying the A and the C on this Larceny family as well. I think it'll be exciting to blind taste test this against William Larue Weller, against Maker's Mark cask strength, against Maker's 46 cask strength. I do believe that this will hold its own. Up to now, there's been sort of a distinct lack of competition in this space. That's changing rapidly. All the heavy hitters are coming out to play. Wheated bourbon brands are releasing these higher proof wheated bourbons. I think it's great for the market. If you like sweet bourbons and easy drinkers, Larceny has always been a standout. But if you want a higher proof, if you want to try something with more flavor, tons of sweetness, I think Larceny barrel proof is worth your time and worth your money. So let us know, have you tried Larceny barrel proof? What did you think of it? If you opted to go for something else, have you tried Maker's Mark cask strength? Have you tried Maker's 46 cask strength? How does this compare to William Larue Weller? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We're going to find those other bottles, and we will do a blind taste test in the future. If and when you see this bottle in the future, I hope this video has helped you decide whether or not you want to spend your money on it. I will certainly buy this again in the future when I see it, and I will try all the batches hopefully at some point. I'm definitely enjoying it, and I'm going to enjoy some more of it. So from wherever we are to wherever you are, cheers. That's super good.